Hey, good Friday morning from Blue Jeans Pizza in Blue Ridge, Georgia. It is great to be here. It's a beautiful fall morning in North Georgia. I'm your host, BKP. Let's open up with saying thank you to our veterans. We're on Veterans Day weekend. I'm asking you, all of the rural, listen, I'm going to tell you, America is great. I don't know how that just sounded, but it's great because rural America, we put on and we honor our veterans like nowhere else. I mean, there'll be awesome Veterans Day parade at Blue Ridge. We have Ellijay, you have Pickens County. I mean, you name it, Dahlonega, everywhere. So please look up, and I will tell you this to make it easy. Usually every Chamber of Commerce in your local county, your county where you're at, has the Veterans Day events. So we have Dr. Whaley, a veteran, will be with us in a minute, and he has his red, white, and blue tie, and we honor all of our veterans. Second, we're going to have 8:15 Ask the Doc, like we always do. Dr. William Whaley will be here. And then at 9 o'clock, folks, we have everything set up because we will have the mayor, current mayor and mayor-elect, Donna Whitener, and the entire council except for Mr. Herendon. We spoke to him last night. He sent his appreciation to the voters and thank you to the voters and said thank you for being invited, but he would not be able to be here. So Mr. Herendon will be the only one that will not be here this morning, but the entire 2018 council and mayor will be here at 9, and we will talk to them. And well, they have an hour, so I don't want to, I might have a couple questions. We'll see, just saying, okay? Now, at 8:45, we have a surprise guest. You do not want to miss 8:45, okay? Surprise guest, don't want to miss it. I'm just telling you, I don't know, you know, I'm one of those total control guys, right, ladies? Right? Okay, right? And I'm just walking away, and at 8:45, I have a special guest that's walking in and saying, I don't know. I hope we don't get kicked off the air. I mean, you take me. You listen to me 5 days a week. I don't know. You don't want to miss this special guest at 8:45. Now, also on the table, we have this basket. Can they see that basket at home? Folks, there is over $200 in value in that basket. Movie tickets, wine tasting certificates, dinner, wine tasting, Carter Vineyards, right? Tickets to Ellijay, Easttown Cinema for the movies, Moo Bear, who are they? Where you get the damn ice cream? Oh, excuse me, it's Friday. We don't say that on Fridays. Moo Bears, you get Scoops ice cream. What else we got in there? River Street Tavern dinner, $50. What was that? What's that? How am I supposed to know what that is? $50? Free oil change from Schottenkirk Ford. Huh? Benji and friends, take your pooch over there, get your pooch all scrubbed up, eat the apples from Aaron's Family Orchard, plus banana apple butter. Apple butter. Did I almost get the whole basket? Now, what do they have to do to win? Here's how you enter to win. I always want to do those voices. Rose, tell them what they want. Huh? Like the page. Go to fetchernews.com, like the page, say, wait a minute. Go to fetchernews.com, like the page. Oh, go to Facebook. Like the Facebook page. Like the post. Share the post. Comment, it's fall y'all. With a comment, y'all, right? Go to our Fetch Your News Facebook page, like our page, like the post, share the post, and write it's fall y'all. Got it. You thought I couldn't do it. That's for this basket here, over $200 in value in prizes. I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to do those, you know? Like set it and forget it. Ronco. Remember when Ronco set it and forget it? Sorry, folks. Just that kind of day. It's Friday. All right, I'm going to get serious here in a minute. Roy Moore in Alabama. Now let me get the serious face on. Because anytime you're discussing an accusation that's been made by a woman, you know, you have to be careful, right? You got to be careful, right? So Roy Moore, let me see where I'm going with this. Roy Moore in Alabama, he's the Republican candidate, former Alabama Supreme Court head Chief Justice of the Alabama Supreme Court. Remember, he was removed from the court for not following a court order to remove the Ten Commandments. Remember that controversy there in Alabama? And yesterday, a lady made an accusation that Roy Moore approached her when she was 14 years old in a courthouse while her mother was in court getting custody of the young lady, and then went on several dates, and then touched this young lady inappropriately. Okay, so supposedly Roy Moore did this and touched this young lady inappropriately. He was 30, supposedly, allegedly, and she's 14. So let's just think about this for a minute. Now, what I'm about to say, don't act like on the other side of the camera you have never heard this before. You understand? Don't act like you've never heard this before. What I'm about to say, don't act like you're so offended, all right? But I just thought about it this morning. Immediately, Republicans are coming out like John McCain saying, Roy Moore must step down now. He must step down. And then Shelby of Alabama, I can't do my Alabama Shelby voice, but if there's just any truth to this whatsoever, there's no place in the Senate for Roy Moore, from Senator Shelby in Alabama, okay? So he has come out, and then McCain's come out, and all these Republicans have come out in disgust, okay? Oh, absolute disgust. That if this is true, Roy Moore must step down. Now, the other thing that's come out, and this is where I'm interested, okay? The other thing that has come out is this young lady, well, I guess 40 now, but this lady has been married 3 times. This came out, and she has about 6 kids, and there's been some comments about her life, okay? Married 3 times, 6 kids, her reputation. Let me just say something, okay? Establishment Republicans don't need to go holy right now. You understand? Because Newt Gingrich has only been married, what, 4 times, 3 times, whatever. You know, Rudy Giuliani, he's got a little baggage, right? How about our President of the United States married 3 times? Just saying. What about our President of the United States saying being married 3 times and having children with all 3? Seriously. Tiffany with Melania, Barron with Melania, Tiffany with Marla Maples, and so I mean, I'm just saying. So what I don't want to have happen, there's an accusation here, is these establishment Republicans that feel that, you know, there's absolutely no difference in being married 3 times and living in the trailer park with 6 kids than being married 3 times and being a member of the yacht club. I'm just saying, okay? Because it just really hit me wrong when I started seeing that last night. You know, there's no difference. This is where, don't act like you've never heard this, all right? You're going to go around and say, well, this young lady made an accusation, because that's where I'm going in a minute. This young lady made an accusation, you know, and then you'll hear, well, you know, trailer park trash, right? Well, let me tell you something. Sometimes the trailer park trash is more fun to hang out with than these yacht club establishment Republicans that are in the D.C. swamp, these swamp rats. So I don't want to hear that. That really hit me the wrong way. You remember our first president of the United States that was divorced? Who was that? Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan was married to Jane Wyman. Oh, there was a lot of talk. Wonder if the American people would vote in Ronald Reagan because he had been married twice. Now, that being said, I probably said way too much. But I'm really aggravated with Republicans. Maybe too aggravated. They call out and they say, well, he must leave the ticket. You know what I don't remember? I don't remember a full-blown investigation, and I don't remember a full-blown cameras following around and asking all the Democrats and Republicans if Ted Kennedy and Chris Dodd should be removed from the Senate or leave or resign because they raped a waitress one night drunk. I get so tired of that stuff. I get tired of it, right? But the Republicans, they'll run for a TV camera real quick, you know, to go after Roy Moore, Mitch McConnell. Now, let me just say this before I end this. I know, dangerous ground. I'm on real dangerous ground, okay? Think about this, folks. This is the media that tried to convince you this week that Virginia turned blue, that the election, the Democrat wave, it didn't happen. Virginia's governor's house has been blue for a long time. Tim Kaine, Terry McAuliffe, all the way back to Wilder. I mean, it's not unusual for the state of Virginia to have a Democrat governor. But no, the media wants you to believe it was a big Democrat wave. Now, second, how do you get Donna Brazile off the front page? Every night, Donna Brazile with the bombshell accusations on the Democrat Party, Deborah Wasserman Schultz, right? How do you get her off the front page? How do you get this woman out of the news? Think about that, right? And last but not least, Roy Moore on December 12th, the election is December 12th, only a month away, right, is leading in the polls. Now, would it not be the greatest thing for Democrats to wake up December 13th, right? I think that the 12th is the election, and say that Alabama in the Deep South went Democrat. Oh, wouldn't they love that, right? And then how long before we find out who wrote the Alabama dossier on Roy Moore? How long before we find out who paid for it? How long? I don't know. And think about this. Wasn't it just this week that the media has been playing all day long, all the channels, that in Virginia, women 30 and older, with an educated white women, 30 and older, stood in line in the rain all day because they were determined to vote against Donald Trump and repudiate Trump. Remember that? So just draw all the conclusions this week. Virginia turned blue, didn't really happen. They needed Donna Brazile off the front page, right? Needed Donna Brazile off the front page. The media wants you to switch back to women, right? Women in the election. Women won that election in Virginia. White women, 30 years old with a college education, won the election. Well, you know, and now this lady in Alabama has made an accusation about Roy Moore. Now, I'm not going to go whether it's true or false, but I thought we lived in a country where you were innocent till proven guilty. Seems a little funny. But here, I don't want to question a woman, and I'm going to end with this before we go to our Ask the Doc. I don't want to question a woman. And I want to question her reasoning, because I get confused. I will tell you this, all right? I get confused when a woman comes out 40 years later. 40 years later, all right? It says that something took place. So I wonder. So I went straight to the top. I said, you know what? I'm going all the way to the top with this question here so I could defer to an expert. So I asked Lisa. I said, Lisa, share this with me. I'm serious with me. I said, last night, I said, will you do me a favor? Why do you think a woman would wait 40 years to make these accusations? Because I don't know. I'm real confused here on what takes place, what happens. Well, she says to me, she gives me all the reasoning, and she gives me some reasoning why a woman may wait 40 years to make the accusations. But then she finished and said, but if it's during an election, anything that comes out of their mouth is a lie. That wasn't my words. So just think it's during an election and the Washington Post put it out. I don't know. I'm not calling the lady a liar. I'm just saying I went straight to the top. And I was told if it come out of the mouth during an election, pretty much a lie. Don't know. That didn't come from me. So I cleared myself on that. Folks, don't forget, while all this is going on, the major reason that they want to deter you, move you away from what's really going on? It's because your President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, is having a very successful foreign trip in Asia. Your president, and it's not the World Wrestling Federation, WTO. Some people out there, WTO, no, it's not WWF, the World Trade Organization. So let me tell you something. Your President of the United States went to Japan. He didn't bow to anybody. He got treated like the leader of the free world. And he said, you know what, we're not going to be pushed around anymore. We're going to support Japan. He went to South Korea. Same thing. He went to China. Same thing. Okay? China played the national anthem. Nobody took a knee. All right? That's right. So he went to China. Very successful foreign. And then he ended up in Vietnam. Okay? As we honor our veterans, he ended up in Vietnam, and he stood on the world stage at the World Trade Organization, WTO, and he looked at them and he said, you know what, America, you look at the back of your shirts and they say made in Philippines. You look at the back of your shirts and see made in Vietnam. You look at your sneakers and see where they were, Indonesia and all these places. He went to the South Asian Peninsula and he told them, you won't take advantage of us no more. It's over. Okay? And former administrations allowed this area of the world to take advantage of us in trade, to make our shirts, to make our hats, to make our shoes. Okay? You know it. And if you're in Blue Ridge, Georgia, let's not go there this morning. All right? So we know that. President of the United States stood up for us at the World Trade Organization. The media does not want you to know that. The media does not want to talk about this successful trip of the President of the United States on the world stage. The media does not want to talk about him acting presidential, because he did at all times. And he represented you and I. I don't care if he represented New York City and California and LA. To hell with them, all right? He represented you and I in rural America. Sorry, I'm not supposed to say that on Friday, but I just get a little worked up. Now listen to you. I watched presidents in the past take these trips, and the news anchors treat it like a damn golf game. The president's now walking up the Great Wall of China. History is being made as we speak on TV. No, none of that for President Trump. Negative, negative, negative. I got to get out of here. It's time for Dr. Whaley. Hey, honor our veterans. Don't forget, 9 o'clock, all of our... I'm sorry, did I go too far, Sam? Or was it just... It was okay, just a touch? Sam, they have an alliance over here. Rose and Sam, they've been together a couple months, and it's formed an alliance. I got to be careful with these two over here, all right? Anyhow... City Council, Blue Ridge City Council, 9 o'clock, they will be here, and the mayor-elect at 9 o'clock. At 8:45, we have a special guest. I'm a nervous wreck of what's going to happen, but you don't want to leave. He's going to come in here. I don't know what's happening. Dr. Whaley, Georgia Cancer Specialist, right after these messages. Take us to break, Sam.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff. Be sure to check out New Blue Home and Gift, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Find us on Twitter at New Blue Home. Everything beautiful for your home or a special gift can be found at New Blue Home and Gift. Call us today at 706-455-3873 or visit us at 531 East Main Street, Suite 103 in downtown Blue Ridge. Broken Bowl, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing, is locally owned and operated. Our Simply Noel selection is the largest around. We have a great selection of unique clothing and several lines to choose from for men and women. We carry a beautiful variety of handmade jewelry from Blessed Be and others. All kinds of gifts, starting to carry shoes this fall as well. Come visit us on your next trip to Blue Ridge. We can't wait to meet you at Broken Bowl, located in downtown Blue Ridge.
Dave's Chevrolet in Jasper is dropping the hammer. Over $11,000 off MSRP on new Silverados. Just look what we've done to the price on this new LT Crew Cab. Save over $11,000 and pay just $32,500. And Dave Chevy is dropping the hammer in a big way on all new Chevy Malibus. Save over $6,500 and pay just $17,900. The savings are real and they're big at Dave Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Dave Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Hey, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from downtown Blue Ridge, Georgia. It's a great fall morning. Come up and visit us this weekend. Kind of weather to walk around town, look at the leaves. Just beautiful downtown, all the shops. We're at Blue Jeans Pizza here in Blue Ridge, Blue Jeans Pizza. I think they're making a breakfast pizza. That's the rumor, a breakfast pizza. We have coffee. And I'm here with Dr. Whaley, and I was so looking forward to this segment because Dr. Whaley, I knew the jacket would be on today and the hat was coming out. And thank you, first of all, let me say thank you, and the tie. Thank you, Dr. Whaley, and we honor all of our veterans here, and we thank you very much. This is our Ask the Doc segment with Dr. William Whaley. We want to thank Georgia Cancer Specialist for this segment. How are you, sir?
I'm great. I'm doing really good. I was so excited to hear you say there twice in one breath that you get confused. Sam, you remember that? I get confused, and you said it twice.
Did I?
You did, and then then I noticed that you'd gone and rented a coat. You could be all dressed up for your city council. I thought that was good. I'll come back to the confused in just a minute. And then you weren't going to go there out of honor to the I guess 70 maybe 90 people in this community who have been out of work for a decade. I don't know, it seems to me like it was last year. It could have been 12 that worked at the Levi plant. And Mr. Trump yesterday didn't really say that I'm going to bring a Levi plant back to Blue Ridge, but he did say that we're going to make our trade imbalance a little bit better. And so I'm just echoing everything you did this morning. I believe that he's been presidential. I really think having the teleprompter helps because he has not been in the least bit bombastic. He hasn't had any of those stand up and look inflated things. He's just looked serious and on message, and he hadn't tried to make any kind of jokes that might go wrong way because he's against a different culture. I mean, I think it's been absolutely beautiful, and I think it's so much different. If you could show the apology tour and this thing with clips back and forth for Obama's trip through the Egypt and the Middle East and his trip through Asia and go bang, 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 it would be wonderful. But anyway, We're not here to talk about that.
No, okay, I'm listening.
Are we here to talk? Are we here?
We can talk about that.
Okay, and one other thing we ought to talk about.
Okay.
Is the issue of Judge Moore, because you brought that up and you hit it. I think you hit that right on the head. The times they have changed, and up until Ronald Reagan, who had been divorced, he was only married for a very, very short time, and then he had a very solid marriage for many years, and the world sort of forgave him. It was kind of like being pinned or going steady as the population has evolved. But there have been a whole lot of sociological writings. I think people have done their PhD thesis on the fact that there were all sorts of infidelities in the White House for hundreds of years, and they were kept quiet. You know, now they come back and say Kennedy had 100 of these, and they put a lot of effort into giving credit to the Clintons for maintaining a look of a marriage that obviously everybody knows was shattered years ago and hadn't been a marriage for years. So you had two presidents who became widowed while they were in the White House, and they remarried while they were in the White House. Totally acceptable, because that'd been going on for generations. We talked once before about women died in childbirth, and Civil War veterans would live to be 70 years old, and they'd be on their third or fourth wife, and they'd have these 3 or 4 families from these different wives. But so all that socialistic stuff, excuse me, not socialistic, but our understanding of the difference in the culture, whenever Judge Moore was a 32-year-old veteran, and whatever happened then either happened or didn't happen, but it isn't worth the fluff it's getting today. I was just over there giving my hug to Sam, and I said, Sam, is this appropriate or inappropriate? If I run for office, are they likely to get me for hugging you when I come in here?
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Anyway, so
I'm
that's
just waiting.
Yeah,
I'm gonna blast it out that you went over and hugged her
anyway.
and said good morning, and I want you to stop coming in here and being nice to them.
Okay, well, that's right. But basically, the second part of that is, if you look at the timing, which is what, 5 weeks before the election, it's a little bit different in scale, but it's not in scale, but it's not much different from the bus incident with the TV thing about Trump before the election. Everybody said, "Oh, that's going to kill the poor guy." Came out right before the election and didn't do a thing. People knew it for what it was. I really don't believe that this will alter the outcome of the election in the state of Alabama. I think the people in Alabama know the man, and I think that it's going to be fine.
Well, you know, I hope for everything that the young lady didn't make an accusation that's not true. I hope we don't find out later on that the Washington Post affiliate and the Washington Post did not put something out as some kind of October surprise for December election, and that we find out a year from now something else. So
November to surprise for a December election.
Right.
That's even worse.
Exactly. So we probably better move on.
Think so?
Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble. I'm okay right now.
Well, this first question.
The ice is
yeah, but okay. All right, but anyway, you did say you get confused, and you did go out and rent a coat so you could do the fancy program.
I feel you're going somewhere with this, so I'm waiting.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm ready. This is a.
Oh, I can't pronounce this. I think I have.
Go ahead.
What?
Okay.
What's the word?
Aquagenic pruritus.
I think I have aquagenic pruritus. What I said when I looked up my symptoms, I have intense itching after a shower with no visible skin irritation. I have had this for years. I have tried to modify diet without wheat, and it helps some. Have you ever heard of this disorder? What can I do to find relief or even actually a diagnosis?
Well, this opens up such a great area of discussion that I will go first to the aquagenic pruritus. I saw 3 patients this week who have aquagenic pruritus. It just so happens that I'm a hematologist and a cancer doctor, and aquagenic pruritus means that when you take a shower, you get intense itching, and it is, no pictures yet, Sam, and it is an absolute hallmark, almost like baby kicking in your stomach says you're pregnant, of a myeloproliferative disorder, a real hematologic disease of polycythemia vera, myelofibrosis, chronic myelogenous leukemia, or central thrombocytosis. That's really a disease. Okay, now, there, Sam, flip up that chart, if you would, please. Sam's going to put up a chart. You're not going to be able to read it very well, but it's about 10 different categories of I itch. And each of those categories of I itch are signs of significant medical issues, generally most of the time, and that they deserve a visit to your doctor. Now the problem is most physicians, family physicians, or even internists, if they're not slap up to date, aren't going to get that one about I itch when I take a shower or I get in the swimming pool, and they will not be able to make that diagnosis. But generally an itching disorder can be something wrong with your skin, and then you might see something you might not. But kidney disease, liver disease, thyroid disorder, diabetes, endocrine disorders can make your skin itch without any kind of a rash. Various types of infections, like children with pinworms and things of that sort, if you're an adult, can make your skin itch. Autoimmune disorders like rheumatoid arthritis, we've talked about that. Before you ever get any joint swelling or anything else, you can itch. And a huge amount of the itching, unfortunately, is psychogenic disorders or psychiatric disorders. So the itching when I'm in water is a specific itch. I take a shower, it doesn't have to terribly be hot. It's got, as soon as I get in, I start to burn and I start to itch. The toweling doesn't help. You know, sometimes you would, well, you know, if you itch from sunburn beginning to heal, you just love to get that towel on there and scratch it. Toweling makes this worse, not better. And if you actually have that and it's persistent for months at a time, you got to go see a doctor and get checked out. And that's enough of that.
Okay.
Except that, no, the skin is...
That confused me a little.
It did, but it was a great question. The skin is a mirror of what's inside. And lots of things in the skin, to an astute diagnostician, and every internist or family practitioner is not, can be a sign of an occult internal disorder. I'll give you a couple of quick ones. There are little red spots that can occur on your skin that are the manifestations of aging. But there's another one that looks a little bit like a spider web, and if you take a pencil and go straight to the center of it and touch it, it blanches out. That's called a spider angioma. Well, that means you drank too much, you had hepatitis, and there's something wrong with your liver. And, well, I'm just saying. And then, like the fingernails, we talked about the fingernails, clubbing the fingernails. I can sit at a table and look at somebody eating a meal in a restaurant and say he's got lung cancer because of what happens in his fingernails. And so there are huge books written about the dermatologic manifestations of occult disease. But this question, whoever wrote it or whoever looked it up, didn't really realize that they really were hitting on something very important there. Anyway,
okay. Well, let's move to one I may understand. This one I may understand.
Well, I think you might.
What are the effects of drinking alcohol while taking antibiotics? Okay. No, sir.
Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. No, what are the effects
of
drinking alcohol while taking antibiotics? Someone told me if I drank alcohol, it would make them ineffective.
The issue with alcohol and antibiotics has nothing to do with effect. First of all, if you're sick enough for an antibiotic, you ought not feel like you want to drink alcohol, to be honest with you. And we do know that people overuse antibiotics, and you see all of this publicity about don't give an antibiotic for the common cold, don't suspect that you should take an antibiotic for the flu. It leads to antibiotic-resistant bacteria. They get in your gut. They cause that C. difficile colitis we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, and you die. So you shouldn't have taken that antibiotic in the first place. So if you're really sick and you really need that antibiotic, you're not supposed to feel like you drink anyhow. Now, here's the issue with the drinking. There are very, very few people that have antibiotic and alcohol reactions, kind of like we were talking about Native Americans who drink alcohol and flush. So there are a few people who take Flagyl, tetracycline, or a few of those, and will have a flushing reaction from the alcohol and the drug. There are a few people, and now I'm talking about few, I'm talking about 0.5% or 1% that will get a headache with alcohol and an antibiotic they would not otherwise have gotten. And then the third one is a racing heartbeat. But that is less than 0.5%. The reason they tell you not to drink is that the side effects of the alcohol, regular side effects, and side effects of the antibiotic, nausea, vomiting, feeling bad, don't tell the doctor which it is, and so he doesn't, it's sort of, if I give you an antibiotic today and you call the office tomorrow and you say I stayed up all night and I was nauseated and I had diarrhea, they got to tell you to stop the antibiotic. What you didn't say was I had a 12-pack and I watched Georgia play Alabama on television. So it's just simpler to tell people while you're taking an antibiotic, don't drink alcohol, because I won't have to deal with any of the things that can happen with the alcohol while I'm focusing on this. But it's not because the alcohol diminishes the effectiveness of the antibiotic at all. It's just that the side effects or what happens with alcohol will confuse the ability to say it didn't happen when I gave the antibiotic.
Okay.
Did that make sense?
I guess.
Sam, did that make sense?
Did it?
Okay. One more thing. If I give you 3 medications on the same day and a reaction happens, I don't know which one it was. So my style is, if I'm going to be giving you a series of 2 drugs for high blood pressure, for example, then I will tell you take pill number 1 for a week before you add pill number 2. I mean, it's not going to make a great difference in the overall scheme of things that you started them both on the same day. And that way, if you get lightheaded or something, your heart beats fast with the first drug, I know it was it. If I had both of them, I'm not going to know which one it was. Well, that's sort of the same thing with alcohol and an antibiotic. If you're taking them at the same time, I'm going to confuse what caused what.
Okay, let's go to the last one.
You're going to love this one.
I'm going to love this one.
All right, go.
You're going to love this one out there. Somehow I feel that I'll be involved in this one. I read about experimental Alzheimer's tests that can detect early stages of the disease. Are these really helpful?
Well, the question answered itself. Read it back one more time, slow, and think about it.
I read about experimental...
Stop right there. Okay. I read about experimental. First of all, if it's an experiment, regardless of what it is, it hasn't been proven yet.
Okay.
Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, if you've got an experimental something that made it to the front page of the National Enquirer, or perish forbid, got on Facebook where my wife could see it, or somebody tweeted about it, and the tweet was clever, and it got in tweet land, then somebody is going to find a way to capitalize on that for a profit for absolutely no scientific value. Are you with me still?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to
that part didn't confuse me.
Okay, on television every day, you see these really good ads, and they show this person who looks clearly like she's from the Mediterranean. It says, I did my 23andMe and I discovered that I'm Scandinavian, American, Indian, and something else, and I'm hardly any Italian at all, 23andMe. So it has our public thinking about the genetic profiling of my background, and I may think that I'm Scotch or Irish, and when I do it, I discover that I'm North African and whatever. So people were seizing on this idea of genes. So this first thing I'm going to hit on was one of the Alzheimer things that probably is going to be helpful in some way is that genetic sequencing of the whole genome of a person. There are a couple of genes in there that are statistically linked with Alzheimer's disease. Now, as you know, the human genome is complicated, but there is a company that is offering commercially, and in doing so through YouTube or whatever it is, at $4,500 a test that you have to pay for to do the human genome test and tell you if you've got an increased statistical chance of getting Alzheimer's. Well, the insurance isn't going to pay for it. You pay the $4,500, and when it comes back and says you meet the statistical profile that says you might get early Alzheimer's, how are you going to feel? I mean, what in the world is that going to do for you? There's nothing you can do about it. That's number one. There's not any kind of reversing you can do of your genetics, so it'd be stupid to even try or even know. And the increase in your incidence is only an increase of about 1.5 to 2%. And if you take 100 people and 5 of them are going to get tuberculosis, and you increase that to 7.5%, then you have increased by 50% the risk that somebody's going to get tuberculosis. Scares the group to death. But what you're really saying is 2.5% of these 100 people are going to get tuberculosis. Not half, okay? So now the Alzheimer percentage in the normal population is down here around 4%, 5%. And if this genetic predisposition changes that to 6 or 7, that shows a 50% or a 30% increase in the incidence of Alzheimer's in people who have that genetic change. What good is that going to do? I mean, and it sounds so sensational that the genetic profile demonstrates people who have a 50% higher chance of getting Alzheimer's. Well, that's still back here at 2.5% of 100. So I think you wasted your $4,500. It can't help you in the least. Now that's the big one. There's a couple of other ones. There's a trial blood test called the IRS. Sounds like Internal Revenue Service. And
I thought the IRS already did a blood test.
Yes, right. They did a wallet biopsy, and that's what they do. The IRS does not do blood tests. They do wallet biopsies only. So anyhow, this IRS test is a simple blood test. It measures the different types of fat in your blood, and not whether you're fat, but different types of fats in your blood that have nothing to do with cholesterol. And then it looks at the ratio of those fats. And again, that test is, you're talking about small percentage changes down here. It's not commercially available, and it's really a way out there screening test. But if it could do that, it would be a lot cheaper than genetic sequencing, which is thousands and thousands of dollars. And then the third one is, again, a genetic type test. It looks at RNA, a part of your cellular DNA, RNA stuff, and that's kind of the way you make diagnoses of AIDS. And remember, they were doing RNA for the Zika, when the Zika update. anyhow, that's another highly technical thing, and it also is not commercially available. So the answer to the question was in the asking, and that is, I read about an experimental. Once you see that, you stop and say, let's wait until it's finished, and then we'll worry about it another day.
Okay, I don't know this person, but let's just put it like this. Let's just say I know somebody that, let me give you 3 things. Would this be early indicators? If you have your glasses on your head and you can't find them. That's one. What? Wait, the second one. If you're carrying your keys around in your hand and you can't find them. That's the second one.
And it happens more than twice a week.
And nobody told you to get involved.
Sorry.
I don't know how Sam knows who this person is. Okay? But all of a sudden Sam knows the person. So if you're carrying the keys around and you can't find them, and glasses on top of your head and you can't find them, and let's just say you're talking on the phone and you say, I got to get off here so I can find my phone. Is that just, what is that?
That's normal biologic behavior.
Write that down, normal biologic behavior, Sam.
Of people who are busy and have many irons in the fire at the same time.
Well,
wait a minute.
No. You know how you picked out the word experimental in this?
Yes.
And that was your trigger?
Yes.
My word in that was normal. Write that down.
All right.
Go ahead.
Well, you'll have on your expert panel today a very, very attractive and articulate woman who often,
thank you.
often wears 2 pairs of glasses to be able to read, because none of the 1 pair of glasses will work. And there'll be 1 pair up here and 1 pair in the hand, and they're looking for the second pair of glasses to be able to read what's going on. And it might even happen on TV. So if it does, she doesn't have Alzheimer's.
We have to go. We want to thank the Georgia Cancer Specialist for always sponsoring this segment. But
Okay,
before we go,
we're gonna pull it out. You said we got to go to whatever is brand new that people really need to know.
What?
We always say you got something that you got off the news that people really need to know.
I want you to tell us just a minute about your hat. Can
Oh,
you
my
do that
hat.
for
Sure.
us?
Okay.
Yes. Tell us about your hat.
All right. This is a Veterans of Foreign War Life Member hat from the Post 6570, which is the Blue Ridge Post. I've actually got 3 of these hats because I'm a member of the Disabled American Veterans and the AMVETS. But these hats you'll see in the parade on Saturday, tomorrow, at 11 o'clock. And the guys that are wearing these hats, you ought to stop and thank them.
Well, and the reason I wanted you to highlight the hat is because a lot of times we go to the veterans parades and we go to the ceremonies that they have honoring our veterans, and a lot of people see these hats and don't know what these hats actually are and what they symbolize.
All right. Interestingly, if you watch these hats tomorrow, look at the side here. This says VFW. That's Veterans of Foreign Wars. To get this, you have to have participated in a foreign war. People who didn't get, you'll see AMVETS here. And I have one that's Disabled American Veterans, and everybody knows I'm disabled, and so I'm a member of all 3.
Anything before we go? I don't want to close.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is flu shot time.
I figured.
And yesterday, yesterday I had a fight with one of my patients and one of my daggum staff that they had read on the internet, which has got to be true, and had seen on YouTube, so it must be true, that the flu shot potency last year wasn't any good because it was grown on eggs, and it's always grown on eggs, so why should I bother to get a flu shot? And the truth of the matter is that one strain of the flu virus that's in the multiple flu virus shot is one that does not produce as well on eggs. So when you take that shot that's got 5 or 13 different flus in it, the potency against only one of those may be reduced. And it did happen that last year there was more of that one strain of flu than there had been in previous years. So that's not a reason not to take the flu shot. And this is going to be, as I said last week, a bad flu year. And the way we know it's going to be a bad flu year is it was the worst year in recorded history in Australia. Everybody's, well, that's a long way away. Well, it's what happens in Australia. Their winter time's just getting over, and they're going into spring, and that viral group's going to be here in the next few months. And if it was the worst in recorded history for them, it's going to be bad for us. Go get your flu shot.
Go get the flu shot?
Go get your flu shot.
Okay. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that. You know who sends me those messages.
I do. But that was from me.
That was from
Get your flu shot.
Dr. Whaley says get your flu shot, and folks, there is really no excuse that you can't find somewhere to get the flu shot. They offer them almost everywhere you go, from the pharmacy to your doctor to, there's all kinds of clinics.
Yeah, I haven't seen the free one where you drive through the bank and they shoot you in the thing they did last year.
I'm not for sure.
I always liked that. I haven't seen it. Seriously, last year they did. You could go through the bank. Oh, they did it. Okay. Well, the drive-through flu shots.
Drive-through flu shots.
Okay.
Folks, I'm your host, BKP. We're going to take a break. We're going to have a special segment when we return. You want to stay for that. At 9 o'clock, we're going to talk with the new 2018 council and mayor for the city of Blue Ridge. At 9:45, Jason Banks is going to be on here, TeanFYNSports. We're going to talk sports for the last 15 minutes of the show, and then we're going to slip in a little bit of All-Star Panel today. We're going to get it in there because I've got some questions I want Bruce to answer. I want to get his opinion on. So I'm your host, BKP. Thank you for Georgia Cancer Specialist. To them, we'll be back right after these messages. Thank you, Dr. Whaley, and again, thank you for your service.
Kenty Artesian Silver and Gifts, the Peruvian shop, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Fine sterling silver, luxurious baby alpaca and exotic woods. A beautiful selection of exquisitely crafted gifts for all of your special occasions. Visit our website, artesiansilvergifts.com, or follow us on Twitter at Artesian Silver Gifts. Kenty Artesian Silver and Gifts, the Peruvian shop in downtown Blue Ridge. Papa's Pizza to Go in downtown Blue Ridge is the best in the area all-you-can-eat buffet. Call ahead or order online now at papaspizzatogo.com. Use our convenient pickup window for the best in pizza, subs, wings, breadsticks, salads, and more. And be sure to check out our lively game room. We serve lunch and dinner, catering available, take out or dine in. Papa's Pizza to Go in Blue Ridge, proud sponsors of the Fannin County Rebels.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they say there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there. All I do is win.
The Tupelo Tea mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Hey Rebel fans, come visit the Dairy Queen Grill and Chill of Blue Ridge, Fannin County High School's Meet, Eat, and Treat headquarters. Highway 5 in Blue Ridge. Proud sponsors of the Fannin County Rebels.
Hey, I'm your host, BKP, and we are back at Blue Jeans Pizza
Good.
with Mr. Ken Blue Jean himself. Ken.
Good morning.
I have no idea. Ken called this meeting. Bruce, I'm glad you can make it for the meeting. Glad
Happy to be here.
Bruce, are you going to ask me, as always, what direction we're headed in?
No.
Okay, you don't. I don't know. Only Ken knows. Ken is the owner here at Blue Jeans Pizza. We last year we did our winter shows here, and this year we're doing them again. He's not dressed as a minion, okay?
No, not a minion. Minion?
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, you have a list. You've got flour on the shirt. You're back there making pizzas, but you said today I have something to say. What do you have to say?
Oh no, I just heard your teaser this morning.
What was
it? You were going to have a special guest at 8:45. I guess that person didn't show up because I'm here. So who was that person?
And I'm not special, so.
Well, you walked in the door, so I thought maybe it was you.
We have a lot of special guests here in a couple minutes.
Well, I know that Rick's on his way to North Carolina.
Rick's on his way to North Carolina.
And I'm not going to try to take his place because he's irreplaceable. So.
All right, what do you have?
Well, let's see. I guess since you put me on the spot here.
I didn't put you on the spot. You're the one that said, I'm on at 9. It's my segment. I get text messages. My segment.
All right.
This is your segment, friend.
Well, here's the deal. First, I want to say thanks to everybody. I've been here 2 years and 3 months, and it's been great. Everybody here in Blue Ridge has been extremely friendly to me. And since I came out of that state called Alabama, it is what it is. So I like being in the North Georgia mountains.
You like being in the North Georgia mountains?
I do. Yeah, everybody here has been nice. I'm excited to see the new soon-to-be city council members showing up here. That's pretty cool.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Are the North Georgia mountains better than the North Alabama mountains?
I don't know. I really like Mentone, Alabama. I like being on Lookout Mountain, looking across, being on the brow, looking across to Sand Mountain. It's pretty nice.
Bruce, let him finish his stuff. Come on.
So anyway, as a veteran too, we're going into Veterans Day, so I'd like to say thanks to all the veterans for everything that they've.
Absolutely.
Been a lot of political discussion on some of this stuff, but I'm not a politician, so I'll leave that to them. Hey, so Blue Jeans, we're trying to ramp it up. You know, the holidays is coming. Did you know that?
Yes.
Did you know Thanksgiving's coming up?
Just around the corner.
Yeah, it is. So we're going to have live music tonight young talent, Michael Smith. He performed a couple weeks ago for the first time. He's awesome. We're going to have the Rogers father-son team tomorrow night. Next Friday night, we got Lindsay Harper, another young local talent, very good. I had to move some things around for Thanksgiving because we're working on a deal with Firefly Music. So I think he posted it, and I think I can announce that Colin Ray is going to be here at Blue Jeans Saturday the 25th. I think it's going to start around 7:30, 7:45, and we're going to go late into the night.
And
so
what else you have marked down there?
Well, that last little note is we're actually going to do a food pairing, a little food and wine on December 14th. So, yeah, we're gonna break out here at Blue Jeans and try to put a special event together on Thursday, the 14th. But there will be more to come on that.
You know, you have a lot of things, and Ken, I want to thank Ken because does a great job here in the community. I want to take the opportunity not just to thank our veterans. I want to thank you in a different way because you have provided the meal for years on Wednesday night to the players and the coaches for our Rebel wrap-up show. You have done anything and everything you could in this community to help as many of the high school sports and community things that are going on. So we want to say thank you to you. We know you do that all the time here at Blue Jeans. Ken really gets involved, helps the coaches any way he can and the community. Also, there's something you didn't put on there that I also want to highlight is you have a room over here that you can host your business meetings and your civic meetings in, and you can do your PowerPoint presentations. You can hook up over there. We here at FetcherNews.com, we about every 6 weeks we have a group meeting. There's about 12 of us now all together, and we hold them right here over in this room over here. You've got a room for that. You've got the Safe House Lounge, a private lounge over here. How many does the Safe House Lounge?
21.
21. You can schedule the Safe House Lounge over here. Fix your menu up ahead of time with them what you want for your group or your party, or you could bring your business over here at noon whenever and hold your events there. So you offer a little bit of everything. Yeah,
we've got 3 different venues. The lounge is doing very well. As a matter of fact, I just got the original liquor license to the Safe House Lounge out of Pittsburgh, which is where we sort of came up with that. Safe House means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but the origination and the person that gave me the idea was from law enforcement from Pittsburgh. And after kicking around a few names, we decided to settle on it. And then this past weekend, I got the original. It's no longer an establishment, ironically, next to a church in Pittsburgh, but we got the original liquor license, so we're going to frame it and put it up this weekend.
Did the church take the bar over?
I don't believe the church is in existence anymore either, so they've done expanded and grown and moved away.
What's this about meetings you have back there? What meetings are these?
High level. High level. You can get the binoculars, sit down in the parking lot, and scope out our next move. Sam has the meetings. They don't even let me go. Well, they tell them, right? They don't.
Good idea.
Ken knows.
We had some Alabama fans in here last night, and so we're going to put them out into the overflow. Or
this show's going south.
Yeah. Tomorrow night they wanted to hear the sound to the Alabama-Mississippi State game. So I called my wife last night, who is an Alabama fan, been in Alabama all of her life, and I asked her if it was
you
okay.
have been accepted into the community.
I know.
It's
tough.
but go right ahead.
It's tough. And so she said it was okay for me to put the Alabama fans in the overflow room so they can watch it on the big screen there, and we're going to turn the sound on to the game. They'll be by themselves.
Do you have to have a blow-up elephant?
I understand that.
Well, I'm not sure.
We want to thank you. All right, really quick. We have 2 minutes, because I have a whole group out here. Bruce, Roy Moore. Now, I'm going to get you back in here in a minute. We're going to take 30 minutes. I don't want you to
go. I'm going to go get the pizza.
Oh, you need to go.
And I don't talk politics, so yeah, I got to go.
Get out.
So, hey,
go get the pizza.
It was a pleasure. Thanks.
Thanks.
Good to see you.
Pleasure.
All right, out of here.
40-year-old allegation.
40-year-old allegation. What say you?
I don't know. I mean, it's one of these, flip the coin. I mean, is it real? Because there's more than one, supposedly. So.
All right, well, Jane is here today. Jane is back on the All-Star panel. We're going to take a break. We're going to bring the council in. As soon as we take this break, we're going to bring the Blue Ridge City Council in. And then after that, we're going to have a brief edition of the All-Star panel, and then we're going to talk some sports to close the show. Good?
Good.
Glad to have you.
Good to be here.
Good to be here. Take us a break.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff. Be sure to check out New Blue Home and Gift, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Find us on Twitter at New Blue Home. Everything beautiful for your home or a special gift can be found at New Blue Home and Gift. Call us today at 706-455-3873 or visit us at 531 East Main Street, Suite 103 in downtown Blue Ridge. Broken Bull, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing, is locally owned and operated. Our Simply Noel selection is the largest around. We have a great selection of unique clothing and several lines to choose from for men and women. We carry a beautiful variety of handmade jewelry from Blessed Be and others. All kinds of gifts, starting to carry shoes this fall as well. Come visit us on your next trip to Blue Ridge. We can't wait to meet you at Broken Bull, located in downtown Blue Ridge.
Days Chevrolet in Jasper is dropping the hammer. Over $11,000 off MSRP on new Silverados. Just look what we've done to the price on this new LT Crew Cab. Save over $11,000 and pay just $32,500. And Days Chevy is dropping the hammer in a big way on all new Chevy Malibus. Save over $6,500 and pay just $17,900. The savings are real and they're big at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Hey, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from beautiful downtown Blue Ridge. That's Blue Ridge, Georgia, and we're at Blue Jeans Pizza. Beautiful fall morning. Joining me this morning is the newly elected Blue Ridge City Council. Now, before we start, we talked to Mr. Harold Herendon last night, incumbent re-elected. He wanted to thank all the voters out there and just said that he would not be available today. He appreciated the opportunity to be with us, and at late notice the mayor had another obligation that she had to attend, so she's not going to be with us this morning also. But We'll start from left to right. We have Mr. Kenneth Gaddis. We have Ms. Robbie Cornelius. Did I get that right? Okay. Incumbent, Rhonda Thomas Herendon Haight. Did I get that right? Is that, am I close?
Yeah, just, maiden name.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah. Thomas, which I am changing my name. You're going to have to start calling me Haight. I just haven't done it because of all the legalities of changing everything. So next term, Haight. Okay. And right here to my left, Nathan Fitz. This is with the Mr. Herndon not here. This is what the 2018 Blue Ridge City Council looks like. Congratulations to each and every one of you. How about we start on the far end, and all of you take an opportunity to talk directly to the voters, maybe thank them or whatever you want to express this morning, and then I might have just a couple questions.
I just want to say thank you to all the voters out there, to all the voters, not just the people that voted for me, but for everyone involving themselves into this election, wanting to take your city and make changes to it for the positive. Whether you voted for me, whether you didn't vote for me, I want to do the best that I can. I want to get to know everyone more on a personal level to find out what we can do, that we can bring to the table to help the citizens of Blue Ridge. And a lot of things can change for the good of Blue Ridge, and I'm really excited. There's a lot of excitement here in the community. Even after the election was over, going out in the community, still talking with people, they're excited. They're excited about this council, and I'm just honored to be a part of this council for the citizens.
Robbie, what about you?
I just like to say thanks to the voters. Appreciate y'all's support. Even though all the negativity that was going on, we stayed strong. We didn't participate in that, and I'm proud of this council that we don't, go that route. So I appreciate everybody.
Rhonda, Thomas,
Herndon Haight. Herndon Thomas Haight.
Okay.
Let's get it straight.
Okay.
Just want to say thank you to all the voters, like Ken said, not just the people who voted for me, but the people who didn't vote for me. I'm still here for you. And I want to make this a term that we can get a lot of things done. We can do a lot of things for the citizens. I think this entire council, we're about doing all we can to improve relationships between residential, commercial, and becoming a community. And that's what I want to see happen. I want to see so many positive things for everyone. And I feel like this council is the one that can do it, and I am so thankful that you guys put your trust in us.
Mr. Fitz.
Well, again, thank you to everybody who got out and voted. I'm excited to get to serve with all these guys. I agree with Ken. The amount of calls, emails, and just the excitement from the community is overwhelming. I think I got more gifts from this election of people saying congratulations, flowers and stuff, and I'm not even a big flowers guy, than I ever get for Christmas. So that is certainly special that you guys are that excited for us to serve. And I wish we could start tomorrow. I've already been sitting making a list of things, and I'm ready to unbutton my sleeves and roll them up and get to work. So I think it's going to be a good 4 years, and I think we're going to do good together, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, let me ask you just a couple questions, and however you want to get involved, no particular order, please do. And then if somebody wants to comment on top of what one of you say, go ahead and do that. Mr. Herndon is not with us, but throughout the 4 years, I've watched the council at FetcherNews.com, and he has participated. He has voted one way with some members, and he's voted the other way with other members, and I think he is a balance. If he was here, we would see what I call a good balance to the council. What do you guys think about the balance of the council now, and maybe inserting not your own view, but being able to be your own person on the council, and the balance now that's across the board of the council of how you're going to be able to work together and be yourself? Anybody?
You want me to start?
Yeah, sure, go ahead. You're the guy that got flowers.
Hey, I did too.
Sorry.
I wonder if it was from the same person.
I have
I'm upset. I didn't get
I got
flowers.
2 bouquets of flowers.
Hey, actually, I got a Tiffany's box or something.
Okay, let's get back. Let's get back to the question.
Okay, so, well, first of all, for I think the people who knows all of us is we're all pretty independent people, and I don't think any of us have an issue with stating our opinion of what we think is best for Blue Ridge. And there's going to be some things that we disagree on, and it's okay. But I think the panel that you have up here today, including Mr. Herendon and Mayor Whitener, I think if we do disagree, it's going to be in a very respectful manner. We're going to vote on it, and we're going to move on. And I think that's what the citizens want to see. They're certainly tired of the fighting and the bickering. So I think we're all independent but respectful of each other. So I don't think you're going to see any of that the next 4 years. We certainly won't take it outside.
Yeah, and I also think that many times decisions were made with this last council. They called and discussed with current council. Certain people would call and discuss other issues amongst themselves, and they did not. They didn't do it as a group, but they might call one person, call the other, and that's fine. But I will say I never got a phone call on any of the issues that were discussed, and Harold rarely did. So I think and that to me is not working together as a team. So this group, we have no idea of doing that. That's not ever going to happen, I don't think. I think when we have ideas to discuss, it will be discussed as a group, which it should be, and you will include everyone, and people will not be excluded. And we're going to have differing ideas, but that's okay. We'll come together for the best decisions of the community. And I will say, I think with this group also, we want to take the consideration of the community into our decisions. We represent people, we represent businesses, so we want to listen to them as well. And I think that will be a little bit different from what our current council is doing. So, and that's a great thing.
Anybody else?
Well, the other thing I'll say is I think we all have different experiences to bring to the table. So I think having more independent ideas that we can all bring and collaborate with each other is important.
I think the change here is this. We're so independent, we're so different, our backgrounds have some similarities, but if you look at where we stand, we're all different in a way. But what we're planning on doing is not just talking amongst each others about issues, but what I would like to see is us going out to the community and talking with the community to find out what their views are on certain issues. We want to address an issue. We want to find out how this affects the community in a whole. I think you keep that communication line open even with business owners, but with the citizens, with everyone that even walks into Blue Ridge, because everyone that walks into Blue Ridge has a little bit of ownership of Blue Ridge. And I think if we can go outside or just our 5 and just go to the citizens and just communicate with them, hey, what's your views on this? They can give us some experience that we don't have. And I think that'll help make Blue Ridge a lot stronger.
Well, let me. Do you want to get involved in that?
One thing I'd like to add is that I think it's important that we set up a town hall meetings, at least maybe a quarter or something, so we can get the community in, so hear their views and stuff. Because we may not all have time to go out and visit everyone, but if they come to once a quarter or something to a town hall meeting and participate, and even at the council meetings, you hardly see any of the citizens there, because they're so fed up with all the arguing and fussing that they just quit going. So I think it's important that the citizens feel it's okay to come to the meetings and listen and know that it's not going to be an embarrassment to our city.
Well, and they know that they actually have an input. Right now, they can't have an input or talk even if they did come.
That's true. And even at our town hall meetings, Mayor Whitener, she's called several where Harold and I were the only 2 council members who even showed for the town hall meeting. So that says something right there. I have a feeling if Mayor Whitener or the council calls a town hall meeting, we would all show.
So, for example, maybe once a quarter, put some topics out that are the most pressing to the city at that time, and in advance, make it public so you can have a quorum, and you have a town hall, and those are the things. And it's a listening session. Right. You sit there and listen. Let me change the one thing here. Let me go with you, Mr. Gaddis. Door to door. Now I know when you start a campaign, you probably anticipate going door to door and hearing and discussing certain issues with citizens. But once you get in the door, They start sharing with you what's important to them. What were some of the things as you went door to door and sat in living rooms that you learned? You actually learned as a candidate that this is what the citizens are interested in Blue Ridge.
A lot of the citizens are interested in, how it affects them, the utility cost and stuff like that. I mean, there is an increase that we do with the water system, with the new water plant, and everyone lives the same scenario. Whether you're in the county or the city, we're check to check. And if there's any way that we could just help them out by saving them just a few dollars a month on a utility cost and stuff like that, they want us to look into that. They want us to look into, ways to where they don't have to keep empty jugs underneath their kitchen sink, so every time they have to boil water if there's a busted pipe, and we just keep patching it. There's a lot of scenarios that I listen to and that I've wrote down, and the main thing is just what can we do? There's a lot of projects we spend money on and stuff like that, and I could go through the list of things that was wasteful. But if we can turn that waste into giving back to the citizens, maybe just some helping them with their utility cost or something, to where we can save some money to say, hey, let's give these people a break. See if we can help these people. A few dollars can go a long way for a family who's on a tight budget.
Ms. Thomas, you are the only incumbent on this morning with us. It'd be your third term. Your first 2 terms, you served both terms with Mayor Whitener. Basically a different council the first term and a different council the second term. This would be a different council again. What do you think that the council as a whole can accomplish in your third term that maybe you've been wanting to see for 8 years? That now this is, 8 years now, you're going into the third term with a third new council. What are some of the things that you would like to see accomplished that you were hoping would be done in the last 8 years?
I've been trying for years to get a parking deck downtown, and had actually worked on this project during my first term, during my second term. During the first term, I was told we don't have a parking problem downtown, and that was the response from that particular council. And this one, of course, we really didn't have the funds at the time, and it was put on hold. I will say that there are council members now who are supportive of getting a parking deck in place, because they do see the need for it. And but of course, we've not really had the funds. But my goal now is for this next term, for this particular group, I'd like to see the parking solution. I'd like to see a parking solution put in place. We've worked on a short term and actually Ken helped me with that project, and we got it passed through the council. And he did this as a citizen while he's running for office, and that's with the farmers market. But we need a long-term solution downtown, and that's what I'd like to see first of all with this group. Another issue is we've had flooding for years in downtown, and that's been put on back burner as well, because other monies were put into, of course, East Main Street project and other projects. So the park, and and we did need all that, but this has to be resolved. This is a major issue when people's homes are flooding, and I want to see that resolved during this term. I'd like to see it resolved during the first year, personally, if we have funds. And if we can get a grant writer, if we can get our charter changed so that we can have a city manager, I feel like that's going to make a huge difference with this city.
Expedite the process too.
Yes.
Okay, well, here's what I like to do to close. I have 2 requests. Okay, I have two public requests I'm going to make this morning of the new council. But first, what I'd like to do is I'd like to start here with Mr. Fitz, and you guys tell the citizens, maybe, because I didn't want to put you on the spot and say, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? What do you intend to do here or there? Not going to do that, okay? What I'd like to do is let you guys tell the citizens, hey, on January 1st, this is one of the first things I would like to put on the agenda, I would like to see accomplished or work towards, and let you do that, and then at the end I'll make my 2 requests.
See if it's included or not.
We'll see.
Well, the first thing I want to do is, again, I'm already ready to start tomorrow, is I would like to see us put a plan into place, because it's hard to achieve anything if you don't have a plan into place. So I think we all have to get together as a group and prioritize what's important. I agree with Rhonda that parking is first and foremost, as well as a plan and start the process of helping get some grant money, which I understand is already in the works, for the infrastructure. And I would just like to see a one-year plan, and I'd like to see a 4-year plan. And that way, when the taxpayers want to hold us accountable, and we've said we're going to do all these things, I want them to be able to check off the list of all these things that we have done that we said we would do. I don't want to be coming up on year 4 and all of a sudden scrambling to see things that we had talked about on day 1. I want to see less talk and more action, and so I just want to get a good plan together to begin with.
Go ahead.
And I said a lot just a moment ago, so I won't say much, but I think I agree the same thing. Have a short-term plan, long-term plan in place, and included in that, Downtown Development Authority, the possibility of that, all of us becoming educated on how that actually works, changing the charter, parking, infrastructure, real simple stuff.
Ms. Cornelius?
First thing I'd like to do is, let the citizens know that we all agree that we're all going to, stay independent, but still agree to disagree if we have those moments, and not continue with all the bickering and stuff that's going on. That's very important, because I want our council to be something that the citizens are proud of. I know our schools now have student councils, and we would like to bring those children down so they'll know, understand their roles as a council at the schools, and that way find out. I know the schools would not bring them to our council meetings because of the stuff going on, so I would like to see that happen.
Mr. Gaddis?
I agree with Robbie. Having the kids in a council meeting to show them a layout of the future and how it's represented. It's future for Blue Ridge. A couple agenda items, that I would like to review. First, reevaluate the city attorney right out of the gate. Second, I would like to see the plans and procedures for the water service lines that need to be replaced and the storm drains, which is one of the key components that I was running on. I want to go ahead and start looking at that and see what cost-effective ways that we can save money. Like I said, if we can save some money to kind of help the citizens out, I'll do what I can to find the right people to do this.
Well, let me just say this. When I say request, one, I don't know if anybody out there supports what I'm about to say, but I would like to see you stagger the elections. I would hope that I don't think the citizens deserve you're to serve them, and I understand that, and I'm not here to give you any lecture, but it doesn't matter who is elected. You're to serve the citizens, and that's just my opinion. Not my opinion. That's just it. That's it. So I'm right this time, Mr. Fitz. Okay.
You're always right.
You are
thank
right.
you, sir. But the point being is, I would like to see you change it to where 3 council members in 2 years, and then 2 council members and the mayor. Okay. I would like to see that. I don't know if the rest of the citizens in the city would like to see that, but that way, this was a very intense, to say the least, election, and there's just too much that goes on in that. That's one. Second, there was a recommendation, and you brought this up. There was a recommendation. The city of Blue Ridge has what's called a weak mayor system. There's other cities that have a weak mayor and a CEO, a city manager, or there's other cities that have a strong mayor as the CEO. There's all the options, okay? So I don't know, maybe looking at a strong mayor as CEO, weak mayor with a city manager, but I think that's something that the citizens, it would be good for the citizens. And public participation in a organized manner that doesn't get out of control. I respect that. Citizens not coming and screaming and yelling, but public participation and freedom of speech to approach the council about. If somebody wants to come down a council meeting and want to complain about the sewer bill, let them come down and complain about it and say it's not on the agenda. Are you okay? Did I go too far?
That's great. I like that.
Okay.
Hey, I'm on board with all
All right, just check it. Just check it. So, what did you think I was really going to say?
I didn't know what you were going to say.
All right, final word. This is it. We've got another little segment we're going to do. And anybody got a final word?
I just want to say thank you for, again, and we all, I think we all are looking forward to serving, and we appreciate your support. And we have an open door policy. You can call any of us anytime, and look forward to the next 4 years.
I want to say that it's been a pleasure getting to know some of you better. I did not know Mr. Gaddis when he started running for office. It's been a joy to get to meet you and talk to you. And I'm going to say right here on this camera, I've heard stories, and I have. So if you think she's the quiet, shy one on the council, I know some stories, don't you? And you know stories too, the two of you. So anyhow, I know you and Lisa grew up together, and I've gotten to know you here a little bit. So I wish all of you well. All right.
You remember that gentleman's bet we had?
There was no gentleman's bet. No.
About that haircut?
No, there was no bet. You started that.
Oh.
You said if you won, and I never accepted the bet. We went to the tape the other day. I never accepted that bet. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hey, January, you're sworn in right before the first meeting, or how does it work?
I think
Tell the citizens.
And I'm going to check on this today. I think we're sworn in December, and then we take office.
Okay.
Of course, our first meeting would be but it's before the meeting.
Okay.
We're sworn in, so I think in December.
December you're sworn in, then January 1st.
But I will confirm that, yes.
Thank you very much. We wish you well. And at FetcherNews.com, we always tell everyone we thank you for your willingness to serve, and that's to serve the citizens of Blue Ridge. I'm your host, BKP. Again, Mayor Whitener could not be with us this morning, but this is the makeup, with the exception of Mr. Harold Herndon that couldn't join us, of your 2018 City Council of Blue Ridge. We're going to take a brief break. I'm going to have about 5 or 6 minutes because I want to welcome my good friend Jane Whaley back to the All-Star panel. I'm not letting this day go without welcoming her back, and then we're going to be doing sports with Jason Banks. We're going to be talking Gilmer Bobcat football. You want to stay for that. Take us out of here, Sam.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff. Be sure to check out New Blue Home and Gift, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Find us on Twitter at New Blue Home. Everything beautiful for your home or a special gift can be found at New Blue Home and Gift. Call us today at 706-455-3873 or visit us at 531 East Main Street, Suite 103 in downtown Blue Ridge. Broken Bull, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing, is locally owned and operated. Our Simply Noel selection is the largest around. We have a great selection of unique clothing and several lines to choose from for men and women. We carry a beautiful variety of handmade jewelry from Blessed Be and others. All kinds of gifts, starting to carry shoes this fall as well. Come visit us on your next trip to Blue Ridge. We can't wait to meet you at Broken Bull, located in downtown Blue Ridge.
Days Chevrolet in Jasper is dropping the hammer. Over $11,000 off MSRP on new Silverados. Just look what we've done to the price on this new LT Crew Cab. Save over $11,000 and pay just $32,500. And Days Chevy is dropping the hammer in a big way on all new Chevy Malibus. Save over $6,500 and pay just $17,900. The savings are real and they're big at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Hey, I'm your host, BKP. We are back. It's time for our abbreviated edition of the All-Star Panel. We want to immediately welcome back to the panel. We had it out there on the internet, and we said we're looking for a beautiful blonde.
Political operative.
We want to welcome our dear friend Jane Whaley back with us to the All-Star Political Panel. And we know Rick is traveling. Safe travels there, Rick. Rick's got some business out of town, so Rick's not with us today. And Bruce, how you guys doing?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing good, so I thought what I would do is go straight to final thought. No, put you on the spot. I want to ask you, Roy Moore. Accusations been made in Alabama. What say you?
I say that it's very peculiar that they're coming up now. I mean, I watched Sean last night, Hannity, and I'm right along what he's saying. If it's true, it's a devastating thing. If it's not, if it's made up and calculated and dishonest, then our country is in a bad shape condition. I don't know where they go about talking to this woman. How old is she now? 40?
53.
53 when she was 14. How do you ever prove that? And so
well, there's no police report ever been filed.
Right.
There's no police report filed. There's been no investigation
ever until now.
Right. Are you a little concerned with the timing of this release?
Of course, that's one of the whole things. It's like the Russian thing coming up and
the timing of getting an answer or getting, some indication of what's really true or not. I mean, you're not going to be able to do that in a few weeks. And what the election's December 12th.
Right, exactly, December 12th. Well, first and foremost, I don't want to ever say anything that would sound like a woman should not report something, okay? I would never say anything like that. I, for one, get a little concerned or question, why do you wait 40 years? I don't know. I don't know. Why do you wait 40 years?
Well, I can think of a time. I had a similar instance when I was a child. So I do have a little first-hand knowledge of things. I did not, but that's just my personality. I did not wait. But I can see the pressure because the family, it just blew the family up. And you know that's going to happen. So let me say that. And this does not excuse him if he was guilty. But you see what Clinton did, how many people came forth. He's a great president. That was in the past. We don't need to think about that. Let's just go forward instead of going back. All that just makes your stomach turn to yellow.
Well, in the last 2 weeks, we've and you know, I don't even like to do the show. I know you've watched the show before, and I'll say some things, but really, I'm gonna say really, I don't like to do the show and discuss where a man has raped a 14-year-old kid. So we have a 14-year-old. Just seems like 14-year-old is an interesting number right now because it's only been 2 weeks ago where we've been told that Kevin Spacey allegedly raped a 14-year-old boy, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not reading about the charges coming against him. I'm reading that Kevin Spacey's going to go out to the same rehabilitation center and check himself in, like
the Arizona high desert. Yes.
Right. And you know, and it's just so confusing of what standards apply.
Right.
Indeed.
Would you say?
You put that
Yes,
beautifully.
100%. It's
different standards.
It's a ball of confusion.
Yeah, I mean,
the red standards and the blue standards.
Red standards and the blue standards.
But Jane mentioned a point to me, if we're finished.
No, you go right ahead.
Okay. She said something about John Kerry saying something, and maybe you could explain that, which I hadn't heard yet.
The most asinine thing I've heard, almost, was when John Kerry said in an interview, "I don't blame Jong Ding Dong in North Korea."
Kim Ding Dong.
Kim Ding Dong. Well, you know who that.
You
little,
got the ding dong right.
That little, that little guy. I don't blame him for wanting nuclear weapons. He should want nuclear weapons because he is afraid of Donald Trump and afraid that he'll have to defend himself. So he should have nuclear weapons. I saw him say that on an interview. I didn't just read it.
I gotta go to my sports segment next. I know I gotta be careful because this is brief. You didn't even expect to do a segment this morning. We wanted to welcome Jane back. Give us a final thought on how presidential and how impressed you are with the president's trip to the South Asian Peninsula and what a good job he has done.
I think he's done a very good job throughout all of the trip. I heard his comments from APEC today. I mean, he was very strong.
The World Trade Organization, yes.
Yeah, and I think that was, really top notch. I think even coming out of China, he sort of, threw China under the bus a little bit with what they've done. Again, not blaming anybody by name or anything like that, but just saying they negotiated well, did a much better job than we did, and now it's our turn.
Are you upset that he stood on foreign soil and took to task previous administrations here?
No.
Loved it.
No.
Well, I knew your answer. I just had to ask. I already knew you weren't. No, because it's true. I mean, we left the door open. Clinton left the door open, and we don't have time to explain favored nation status. And we gave China favored nation status.
Yeah, and WTO.
Right.
Exactly.
And
they've taken very big advantage of it.
Exactly. So they've taken advantage, but Donald Trump says not anymore. Welcome back. Glad to have you back.
Fine.
So make sure you're on time not next week, because next week's Friday, Thanksgiving. We're not going to do next week. Okay.
It's Friday?
No, next Friday.
Next Friday. Y'all got to keep me informed.
We'll keep you informed.
I'm a busy woman.
I know that. Final word. Final thought.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks. Hello.
Oh, so it's
just to get that straight.
All right, already. We'll get the date. We have a whole week to get it. Final thought.
I think Trump has done a 10 all the way across the board. I really do. He's improving every day with his delivery, And he means what he says, and he says what he means. And I believe the deep state is quaking in their boots more every day, scared to blinking death.
Melania's an 11.
Scared to blinking death. Write that down. I'm going to use that Monday.
And Melania's an 11.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
Whoa.
If he's a 10, she's an 11.
Yeah, she may be a 12.
Oh, boy.
That woman is exceptionally fabulous.
I've happened to have grown very fond of the communication director. We'll just leave it at that. Go ahead. Go ahead. Final thought of the day.
Again, I think just back with what Trump is doing on this trip, I think he's established good relationships with China, albeit tough and fair. And I think what happens in Vietnam at this APEC conference and then Philippines will be an interesting visit. Duterte is sort of a wild card, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But overall, it's going very well.
You think Trump and they might sit there and have like a Twitter beef?
Maybe.
Okay, thank you very much. We're going to have the full all-star panel next week. We're going to go to sports now. We're going to talk about the Gilmer Bobcats. I want to make a couple comments with Jason Banks, TeanFYNSports Director. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about Pickens going down to Cartersville and the name of his new sports show that's coming up on FYNTV.com. And before we go, Virginia did not turn blue. There was no Democrat wave in Virginia. Terry McAuliffe, two-term governor, Democrat. Okay. Tim Kaine, two-term governor, Democrat. Wilder, Democrat. So Virginia has actually had a Democrat governor recently, so it didn't turn blue. So don't let the Democrats tell you with all the excitement. And hey, Jane, real quick, let's work next week because we need some help. Here's what I understand in the exit polling is Trump is losing the women 30 years, white women 30 years and older educated.
I heard that.
We got to work to get them back.
We do.
Okay. We got a thing here. We'll be back right after these messages. Thank you very much.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they say there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there. All I do is win.
The Tupelo Tea mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, Stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Hey Rebel fans, come visit the Dairy Queen Grill and Chill of Blue Ridge, Fannin County High School's Meet, Eat, and Treat headquarters. Highway 5 in Blue Ridge. Proud sponsors of the Fannin County Rebels.
Hey, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. It's time for Fetch Football Friday. TeanFYNSports Director Jason Banks is here. You know, it's going to get to the point where I'm just, now you got to understand, if I'm ever on your show as a guest, I want to announce the special guest. You understand? You have that clear?
Absolutely.
Okay, because I know you do your own, you're going to do your own sports segment, and I can see that I'm going to start getting moved down chair to chair, and you're going to have all kinds of guests in here. But then when you get to me, you're going to say, and our special guest today. You got it?
Yeah, absolutely.
How you doing, Jason?
Great.
Huh?
Thank you.
Fetch Football Friday, we have a lot going on. So let's go into that just quickly where everybody's at because there's one particular issue, Gilmer High School football now that the season's over, that you and I have been talking about. I want to put about 2 minutes into that. Pickens going down to Cartersville tonight to exchange pleasantries.
Exactly.
Is that what Coach Parker said?
Parker said that, and it's stuck, and you could hashtag it. You know, that's exactly what they're going to do. They'll shake hands, and hopefully they play nice.
Play nice.
Hopefully nobody gets hurt in that one.
Well, Cartersville, you know, Trevor Lawrence is committed to Clemson. Trevor Lawrence is the top quarterback in the United States. High school quarterback, sought after in the United States, already committed and signed. I've had an opportunity to watch him play. I'm going to decide about 3 o'clock today how I feel, maybe to go watch him play again tonight. You were the one that wanted to take the selfie in the background.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, take a selfie with him, save that for later.
Yeah.
Maybe print it off, and when he's playing in the NFL, see if you can't chase him down and get an autograph.
Exactly, right? So he's going to Clemson, and the Pickens Dragons are going down there to exchange pleasantries. Hashtag exchange breath.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't want to make a call on that one? And this is your chance. This is your chance to redeem yourself.
Hey, Cartersville is going to win. Okay.
It's about time. Jason's going to get one.
You can put money in the bank on that one.
Sorry, I had to give that one to you.
Thank you.
What else do we have on tap, Jason?
Well, you want to talk about Gilmer or you want to talk football?
No, let's talk about where everybody's at tonight and some of the things like that, and then we'll get into that just in a minute.
Okay, you know, obviously I pay a lot of attention to AAA Region 7, kind of my interest, kind of seeing what kind of matchups these teams are going to have coming up. And one that stood out to me that I was really kind of diving into this week was the North Hall at Monroe area, the Monroe game. As I got to looking at Monroe and North Hall was a team that we didn't really expect to finish the season quite as well as they did. They started kind of slow. They did play a pretty good game against Pickens, and they played – actually, Fannin County played a really great game against North Hall. Union played fairly well against North Hall. The North Hall surprised everyone, I think, when they beat East Hall, kind of exposed a soft secondary there that no one had noticed. But this team that they're going to play, initially, when I was looking at it, I thought, you know, this should be a walk in the park, but it's really not. Monroe actually a really, really good football team, and they finished second in the region by 1 point. And they had a 1 point loss. They beat some really good teams, and so that's kind of a game that I think we can expect that North Hall season is probably going to come to an end on Friday. Dawson County got a very tough game this week as well.
Let me say this, North Hall comes to play.
Absolutely.
And that's what I like about them. I watched the Pickens game, and they took the Pickens game down to 28 seconds to the 4-yard line, 4th down, and decided to throw a pass in the quarter of the end zone, and somebody in the Pickens secondary jammed up the guy off the line.
Sure.
So the timing was off about 2 yards, period. That was North Hall actually playing a 4A team of Pickens. So North Hawk will come to play Friday night.
Yeah, absolutely. You can expect that they are going to try to run the football, right?
Yes.
And they're going to try to impose their will offensively, right? And control the game by controlling the ball and keeping the defense on the field. But Monroe, a much better team than initially thought. Another game, though, to go kind of switch gears a little bit, Dawson County is hosting Hart County. And if you look at the record for Hart County, you would not think that this is going to be a tough game for Dawson. But then if you look at the schedule for Hart County and actually how they've played, they dropped several games early on. They were close games. It's no shame in losing to some good quality programs or losing to some really good schools. Elbert County, they lost to Westside out of Anderson. They're actually on the South Carolina state line, so they would play Anderson, South Carolina school. But lost to Eagles Landing. They lost to Blessed Trinity. They lost to Stevens County at Toccoa. So you would think, like, man, the guys only won 3 games this year, 1-5 on the road. But they beat Franklin, they beat Jackson, and they're actually playing some pretty good football. Most of their losses are really close. So I think this will be a much harder game for Dawson County than the experts would think.
What about, can you switch gears because we only got a couple minutes?
Sure.
What about, who's Murphy play tonight?
Murphy is hosting South Stanley. Again, that's another team that's only won 1 game on the road this year. Murphy shocking a lot of people by basically blowing out an undefeated Cherokee team last week. I get to go to this Murphy game and be on the sidelines for this one, so I'm excited to see them play firsthand for the first time this season. But they're good. You know, they're a good football team. So, and South Stanley is a 3-win team. So,
well, let me take my last 2 minutes, and I asked you about this because we've talked about this off the air. We talked about it multiple times, and we made a decision that we really were not going to discuss it so we could stay supportive of the young men that are on the sideline, because Team FYNSports always promoting and highlighting young athletes in a positive way. But the football season's over. Gilmer's 0-20, not 0-10. They're 0-20. They went 0-10 last year. They went 0-10 this year. Casey Wingard, head coach, was given the team game 4 last year, like, here you go. Coach is out, you're the coach. Then in the offseason, tried to do some recruiting, tried to do some damage control, had about 60 come out, ended up with 44 after they had all the injuries and everything. And the guy tried to play Quad A Region 6 football with 44 guys on the sideline when he was playing teams that had 120, 115 suited up. 4 seniors, I'm laying it all out, and not enough coaches.
No.
Did you see that yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, understaffed, undersupported. Basically building a program from the ground up by yourself.
And it is that. It's at the ground. Now, the one thing that I am concerned about is that Gilmer make the ultimate mistake. They've made several, but the ultimate mistake in letting this guy go. I'm concerned about that, and not making sure that they put in the halls of the classrooms of the school the confidence in the kids and the coach to start recruiting now, saying our coach will be here next year.
Right.
That needs to happen. And they love the guy.
Yep.
They love this guy.
Yeah, he's not just likable because he's a great guy, but he's likable because he's a great leader. You know, he is the coach that these guys can get behind and follow out onto the field on Friday. Right?
They followed him for 10 games, and I never heard a negative word.
They believe in him. The players believe in him. And so if the administration were to have a thought in their mind of, well, we may want to look at somebody else, maybe we can bring someone else in, just to share a little personal tidbit, my hometown of Guyman, Oklahoma had a great football program when I was in school. And when I was a junior, they hired a new coach, right? And they had, because they weren't happy with like a 6-4 season. Okay, they've been 0-10 or 1-9 ever since. Even now, they've been through 11 coaches since I graduated high school. So, if you keep replacing coaches,
if you'll give us the average year of the coaches, we can figure you out.
Seriously, thanks. Yeah, let's not go there. But for real, I mean, You can look it up. I mean, it's on Max Preps. Look up Guyman Tigers. Just go ahead and take a look at their schedule for the last.
You think the Gilmer Bobcats need to stay with Casey Wiggins?
Got to. Like, you have to
And
give
give
a
him
coach support. 5 years. Encourage kids to come out and play football for him. Got a great rec program. These young guys have got good middle school.
You watched the Super Bowl
Yep.
this past Saturday,
Yep.
and Gilmer did very well.
They did very well. They hit hard. They played hard. The parents are out there involved, right? And so there's a potential. The opportunity is there. The talent is there. And you've got to stand behind a guy. You cannot expect magic, right? You can't just wave a magic wand and fix everything for you and turn around and boom, we're the team to beat in the mountains again. It's not going to happen. You got to give them time. If you don't give them time, you won't get the results.
We're working on launching a new sports show. You're going to be having a new sports show. I'll be a special guest from time to time.
Good.
Don't forget.
I hope so.
Anyhow, what's the name of your sports show?
We're going to call it, of course, TeanFYNSports presents Instant Replay. And basically, it's not an instant replay right after the game, but each week we're going to provide you with interviews with coaches, interviews with players. There's going to be some serious talk, but there's going to be a lot of fun too. Want it to be something that that basically lets you know what's going on in local sports, regional sports, college athletics. We'll even talk about professional sports, and anyone who wants to be a part of this or has something to say, you're very opinionated about a team or something going on, give us a call. We'd be happy to have you on there.
Yeah, it's going to be a sports show. We want people to come together. 30 seconds. We've already pushed past the 10 o'clock. You got a final thought, or you got something to close with?
Follow us on Facebook. That's it.
Team FYN Sports. Follow us on Facebook. Find our Facebook page, Team FYN Sports. Also, if you want to be a part of the new sports show, Instant Replay, send us a message on our Team FYN Sports Facebook page and follow us tonight on Twitter at Team FYN Sports. I'm your host, BKP, here with Jason Banks. Fetch Football Friday. Can't wait. Follow us. Sam, do we have a slideshow for the people to watch? Okay, so we are out. We'll be back Monday morning at 8 a.m. That's it.
Well, thanks to our veterans.
Veterans.